Final school feature today is the UNE Greyhounds, which finished 7-4 last season. Finished runner-up in conference play at 5-2. The Greyhounds have been picked to win the GLVC Conference Championship this year, which will be the first traditional fall championship under the watch of fourth-year head coach Chris Keevers, in the second year after the Hounds won the spring 2021 playoff game to earn the trophy. He's joined by senior running back Toriano Clinton and senior linebacker Kiave Guerrier. Coach, thank you for joining us today. Give us a couple opening comments on the Greyhounds as we move into the 2022 campaign.
We've got a very good football team. I think we've got some really dynamic players on offense, and I think defensively that we've got a bunch back that are from a very good team last year. So I like us both sides of the ball. We're going to be young on special. Our specialists will be young, and that's a concern. We will have to solidify because it's going to be there'll be young kids. But like this football team, all three phases we should have a very good football team.
Coach, 8 of the 14 returning starters are from the offensive side of the ball, including one of the most decorated players in league history who's here with us today. With Toriano in the backfield and 2 other all-GLVC choices from the 2021 campaign with wideout Jeremiah Lee and Kendall Alexis, give us a further outlook on the Hounds offense.
Offensive line will be those 3 inside guys, Clark, Alexis, and Keel, are all back, and they've started for a couple of years, and they're really good. They're as good as we've had inside. We moved to tackle. We moved a tight end, a big tight end to tackle. Tyler Thomas, who's 6'6", 305, very athletic, left tackle, and we have a Ryan Ritchie that is a right tackle. We like our offensive line and we've got both of our tight ends that played last year are back. We're going to be able to run the ball. So that's going to open up our passing game, but we're going to be able to run the football. So we're pretty excited about it.
Toriano, you're entering the season after a standout 2021 campaign, which included all GLVC, All-American honors, as well as being named the Harlan Hill candidate after scoring 17 touchdowns on 206 carries and over 1,500 yards. With the season that you had last year, how are you preparing for this upcoming season? Especially with the offensive line that you have in front of you, how have you prepared for this upcoming season?
For me, I'm never really worried about my line. Those boys fight for me every single week, in and out. I'm not worried about that at all. I put my trust in those guys with all my heart. For me, it's keeping my mental together and just making sure that I don't let anything get to my head. Like you said, those are all great things, but that's last season. It's a new season, new focus, and whatever the team needs me to do to win, that's what I'm going to do for them.
Thank you. On the defensive side, Coach, 6 starters return, including the guy next to you, Kiave, who garnered first-team all-conference honors, as did Jacob Jones, Benjamin Honeyus, and Landry
Mavungu.
Yeah. Give us your thoughts on that stellar defensive core coming back.
Our back end, we've got 3 back out of the 4. 2 very experienced. Mike Brown is a player that's started for the last couple of years at the safety spot. Landry and T. Hall, who's been banged up. But like our secondary, our linebackers is as good as we've been with 2 first-team all-conference inside guys, Honeyus and Guerrier, and then Clay Schulte is our kid's been starting. He played nickel for us. Well, he played in our nickel defense. He was a starter in our nickel defense since he was a freshman. He's a junior now. So, and then up front we've got inside we've got 3 really good. 3 of the best inside guys. Really like them. 2 of them are seniors, Jones and Dennison and Shelton, and then Kyle Borski will be. So, we're really, I think we got to replace an end and a corner off of really good defense last year. We look at our statistics and how we played. Gave up some big passes at the end. This a couple games and blew some leads, but you look at our defense from the 10 games, really good defense.
Kiave, you had a team high 77 tackles a season ago, and you're joined by many others on the defense who had tremendous years last year. How has the defensive unit come together And what's your expectations for limiting your opponents on the field this season?
Just coming together as a team and doing what we do. We love to stop the run, and these guys up front make it easy for us. They go after the ball, and they attack it with all their heart, and it makes our job easier as linebackers. Just as far as me, it's just all about flying around and making plays and making the right plays, and just staying fine-tuned in my skills. And, in the pass game, it's all about just getting out and getting hands on guys and getting in front of them and making plays.
Coach, thank you. Share your thoughts with us on special teams. We mentioned Jeremiah Lee earlier, who also serves as your kick returner, but also who else has supported him in that unit, and share more on what the Hounds kicking game will look like.
We got some dynamic returners. We brought a freshman in he's about 136 pounds, but he can fly. He's as fast as a player we've had besides the one who led the nation in kickoff returns in 2018. But Jeremiah Lee, Derek returned punts before he got hurt. He's a dynamic player, and he got hurt week 6 and didn't play the rest of the year. So feel good about a return game. Feel good about a personnel. We've got a bunch of linebackers and safeties. We'll be as good as we've been personnel-wise. Now, our long snapper and our kickers will be freshmen. We graduated a 4-year starter at long snapper, and we graduated a 3-year starter at kicker. So, kicker punter. So we're going to be young guys. We scholarshiped a bunch of guys, let them fight it out. But so the kicking game is a concern. It's something we have to make sure that we get on top of in the first couple weeks of camp. But personnel-wise, our special teams will be as good as we've had.
Finally, Coach, looking at your schedule, you begin with St. Xavier, and then you have an open date in week 2 on September 10th. You also have non-conference foes sprinkled in with GLVC play on October 15th against Saginaw Valley. Give us your thoughts on the path for your team looking to hoist another championship this year. Everybody says it's one game at a time, but it is. We only address it one time during the camp, and then we talk about St. X, and that's it. So, it's challenging. You got Tiffin and you got Dominican. There's 2 really good non-conference foes, and then you got their homecoming at Saginaw, which our kids are very excited about. Took Lindenwood's spot week 7. We were glad to get that game. They're a very good football team. They've got they're a transfer group. It's going to be it'll be a battle. But it's it'll be a I think our players will be excited about it. And then we got the conference is going to be Truman's always tough. It's last year's game was the last second. Anyone could win it. S&T, did a great job and beat us. McKendree put a lot of yards on us and put some points on us. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be we got to stay focused, and we've got to make sure we take one game at a time. We've got the personnel. We can stay healthy. We'll be in good shape. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on GLVC SN, and best of luck to the Hounds this season.